Hello and welcome to my apiary. My name is Svetlana Huntley and today I'm going to show you how to inspect a beehive. Before we proceed, I would like to talk about the location of my apiary and varroa mite management. There are a couple of things I like about the location. First, my apiary is in the middle of the forest of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and my bees have access to abundant and diverse pollen and nectar sources. Second, my apiary is located next to a clean water source. There is a huge pond right in front of the apiary, and it's fed by 3 mountain creeks. And since bees bring water to the hive, it's important to know that the water is not toxic and not contaminated. What I don't like about the location is that most of my hives do not have shade in the afternoon. That's a problem in June and August in hot and humid months. And in order to protect my hives from being overheated, I use insulation board under the outer cover and keep it there all year long. Next, the proximity to this pond is also a problem during major flood events. This pond may overflow and the ground of my apiary can be covered with water for a couple of days, exposing my colonies to unnecessary moisture, and moisture can create such problems as mold or fungal diseases. Now we can talk about the varroa mite management, I follow the integrated pest management approach, meaning that I try to keep varroa mite levels low all year round, and for that I monitor the levels of mites in my colonies from March to October with alcohol wash test, and if the mite levels meet the threshold, I treat the hives with organic miticides like Formic Pro, Epigard and oxalic acid, and I repeat the test, alcohol wash, after the treatment to make sure it worked. I also use cultural methods. For example, I use screen bottom boards, and varroa mites fall through the screen on the ground and they have a difficult time finding their way back to the colony. I also split the colonies, especially those that show any signs of swarming, and in this way I create the brood break, and brood break interrupts the reproduction cycle of varroa mites. I also try to minimize the drift of the colonies by painting my hives different colors and facing the entrances in slightly different directions. In the future I plan to use drone comb frames when I'm more organized and on schedule, and I also will try to introduce varroa resistant queens to my colonies. Alright, I think we're ready to proceed with the inspection. Today is June 4th, it's about 11:30 a.m. And I would say it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather is sunny, not so windy, so hopefully our bees will be gentle. I need to warn you that Virginia, especially Central Park, where I am right now, and we are in Livingston, Nelson County, has been in drought, severe and then extreme, since April, and the situation hasn't improved much. We're still in drought, so I expect the bees not to be as gentle as usually during this season, so we might use more smoke. We'll see. Alright, let's go and inspect our hive. This is the colony that I split in April, in the middle of April, and I removed the queen from the colony and let them create their own new queen. So they had a brood interruption, like brood break, for about a month. So this is our hive, and you can go there on that side. So our goal today is to see if the colony is queen right. We'll check the population, nutrition, and the health of the colony. And we'll see if the queen is there, if they were successful replacing the queen, and if it's a healthy queen laying worker bees, not drones. Alright, first what we do, we start with the exterior of the hive, and we look at the ground and we look for problems. And right now I don't see any huge piles of dead bees, otherwise it would indicate some pesticide poisoning event or high varroa mite load. I don't see any bees crawling or twitching. That would be an indication of disease. We also look at the entrance and look for problems. I don't see dead brood, like chewed down brood or discolored brood, any dead brood basically, and that's a good sign, because otherwise it would be also an indication of high varroa mite load or a disease. I also don't see dead adult bees. So what I see some bees entering with pollen. the hive and exiting the hive. So these are foragers. They're looking for sources. They're bringing in probably water, maybe some nectar. Probably not much nectar since we're still in drought, but the activity is pretty good for this hive. And since they're bringing pollen, it's a good indication that the queen is there. But we'll still need to check. We still need to look for eggs in this colony. That's all actually we need to do to prove that the queen is there. All right, next thing I do, we check the mood of the colony, and we see if any guard bees will pay attention at me. So this is how I do it. I take the finger and move it across the entrance and see if any guard bees will pay attention at my finger. I can actually even put it. So there are a couple of bees that kind of moved outside and checked me out, but they didn't look much like guard bees because you see they are just flying away. They're probably foragers. All right, hopefully this colony will be gentle, but again, we might use more smoke because of the drought. All right, let's greet the bees with a little puff of smoke right at the entrance. And proceed with the inspection inside the hive. Okay, I might need you to come on this side at some point. This is a typical hive. I expect to see brood in the first two chambers. Hopefully we just need to inspect only the second box. I know that there is honey in this box. The last time I checked this colony, so we're not going to look there. It's full of honey, and I'll just check by the weight of the colony, by the weight of the box if the honey is there. This is the super divided by the queen excluder, and we'll start inspecting the super first and see if there is any honey flow. Okay, we remove the outer cover and put it upside down, and then we carefully pry the insulation board. Try to do it carefully. Okay, and we'll add some smoke in the middle of the inner cover, in the hole, and we'll just wait for a couple of seconds. Then we'll repeat the same thing with the inner cover. We'll pry it and add a little bit of smoke. Since I use the queen excluder right here, I can remove any frame I want without having fear that the queen is there. So let's carefully remove the insulation board. So there are small bees. These are worker bees. You will see a lot of them in the colony. They are all females. There are two more casts, drones, and the queen. If we see the queen, I'll show it to you. If I see the drone, I'll also point at the drone as well. So we remove the inner cover and we place it in front of the hive, so the bees can find the way back. I quickly assess the size of the population in the first super, and it looks like they pretty much ignore it. I don't see many bees there, and how I tell, I look at the seams between the frames and there are not so many bees. So again, there is no nectar flow. You don't see white wax on top of the frames. But you know, since we're here, we'll remove the middle of the frame. Again, there is a queen excluder, I can do it. So, and you can see that it's empty. There is nothing. They didn't work on this frame at all. So kind of, you know, like I expected, there is drought. Plus, since I split the colony, probably, you know, there is not enough bees in this colony right now to fill this super with nectar. But here's another frame. It has drawn wax there. Let's see if they filled it with anything. Well, I hope you can see it. There is a little bit of shiny nectar inside. So yeah, they started filling this frame with something, but as you can see, there are not so many bees on this frame. So hopefully the population will grow later. So yeah, this frame is pretty much empty. Some cells are filled with nectar, but not so much. So they still have enough room to store their honey if they bring any. So what we'll do, we'll just remove this hive box for now. And let me tell you a couple of words about honey and nectar. This is carbohydrates for bees, and they use them to replenish their energy that they need for their daily activities. So we'll use a little bit of smoke there. Okay. And we'll remove the honey box. Unfortunately, the excluder got stuck. All right, so we'll give them a little bit of smoke over here. And before I do it, I'll also assess the population. So most of the seams of the frames are filled with bees. That's a good sign. So that means that the population is growing in this colony, and hopefully will get stronger. I know that there was lots of honey in the super, so I'm not removing any frames here. I'm just give them a little bit of smoke at the perimeter, and I will try to remove this box gently. And just by the weight of this box, I will understand if there is any honey. Okay. All right. I'm gonna remove this honey, and that's for the bees. I'm not gonna extract this one. So the box is pretty heavy. So yes, there is still honey. But our goal is to check if the colony is queen right and if the colony is free of diseases. So right here I also see that most of the seams of the frames are filled with bees. They're not packed with bees. But still a decent amount of bees here. So I'm gonna give them a little smoke here, and we'll proceed with checking the pollen stores and the health of the adult population and the health of brood. Okay, if you can see right here, can you zoom in? This is the drone. All right, I'll show you another one later. So drones have really big eyes, and they have barrel-shaped bodies, and they don't have a stinger. All right, let's remove the second frame carefully. And see what's there. Usually you expect to see honey on first and last frame, and then followed by pollen mixed with honey, like pollen and honey on the adjacent frames, and the rest should be brood. So I expect to see here some pollen and some honey. We'll see if I was correct. Try to work slowly. And let's see what we see here. Okay, let's remove the frame. Okay. This frame actually has lots of capped honey and some nectar. These big guys are drones I was talking about earlier. I'm not sure if you can see them. So these are males, and the colony needs them for reproduction. They go to drone congregation areas and they mate with virgin queens. Right here, the drone. The rest are just little workers, females. Drones are the only males in the colony. Let's see what's on the other side. On the other side we have some pollen. If you can zoom in, like right here. This is pollen. I don't see like that the frame is packed with pollen. There is some pollen that they turned already into bee bread. I would say pollen is the protein they needed to rear the brood and to create royal jelly. So right here there are small queen cups. They build them just in case. If there is any larvae or egg, they turn into queen cells, and the colony is producing any queen, but these queen cups are empty. All right, I didn't see the queen on this frame. We'll put it right here on the frame holder, and we proceed with the next frame. Okay. I expect to see some brood here. We'll see what kind, if it's capped or open. Okay.
15 minutes.
Okay. They sealed it with propolis. Okay. So this is the frame with capped brood, and the cappings look good. They're dome shaped. This is worker brood, and the brood pattern looks solid to me. Just a couple of holes here and there, but that's normal if it doesn't exceed 17%. I don't see any holes like perforations in the cappings. Which is good, otherwise it would be an indication of disease. I don't see any sunken cappings, also an indication of disease. So all adults look healthy to me. I don't see adult bees with deformed wings or adults that are crawling or twitching or adults without hair. All of it is an indication of disease. So the other side is also capped brood, and the cappings look very good. So if you can film this shiny white larvae, do you see it? Okay. Okay, let me magnify it. Okay. So yes, there is this shiny larvae. Let me see. And it's white. I'll try to position the frame differently. Just hold it carefully. So I'll see if I can see any eggs there too. Okay, let's try it this way. Okay, here we go. So you see shiny white larvae, that's a good sign. It's not discolored, it's not brown, so that means that the colony has a healthy brood. So it's another indication that everything is all right with our brood, no diseases here. And it's not chewed down, it's not melted, it didn't look like chalk to me. So we'll put the frame the same way it was before over here, and we'll proceed with another one. We still need to find some eggs. Okay. So the next frame is probably also the frame with brood. Yes, it's another frame with brood, and I think I see some eggs here. So I don't see the queen on this side. Let me see if I can film these eggs. Yeah, there are eggs. Let me quickly try to zoom in first and see if I can film them. So if we see the eggs, that means that, yeah, I think I got it. The queen is there, and we saw that the cappings were the cappings of the worker brood. So the queen is laying fertilized eggs. I filmed the eggs. So we have a queen right colony, and right here on the bottom you also see the queen cups, but they're empty. Usually the queen cups on the bottom are built for future swarming events. If they were filled with eggs, that would mean that the colony was getting ready to swarm, but this is not the case. Here we see that the brood pattern on the capped is good. In the middle there are some more eggs. Oh, and we are lucky because we see our new queen right here. Just follow my finger. She has elongated body, and her wings do not cover her abdomen all the way. And she had a black dot and golden legs. So good. We saw the eggs and we actually saw the queen. All right, we will put it back, and I want to see some young larvae if I will find such frame to double check the pollen sources, the stores of pollen, if the bees have enough. Okay, here's a frame with young larvae, and I can tell that they're swimming in the pool of royal jelly. That means that they have enough brood. Can you zoom in for me? More? Okay, so hopefully I can film it. I'm trying really to zoom in. So there is young larvae in these cells, and there is lots of royal jelly in it. Yeah, I see it. I guess I got it. And larvae looks healthy. Royal jelly looks the right color to me. So yes, this colony has pollen sources enough to raise young brood. So we saw actually pretty much everything we needed to see, and I don't want to irritate these bees too much with my inspection, so I'll carefully smoke them a little bit and I'll close the hive. So I would say that this colony looks healthy to me. I didn't see any signs of disease. The brood open and capped looked healthy. The cappings didn't have any perforations. I didn't see chewed down brood. I also didn't see any discolored open larvae, open brood. So larvae looked shiny. It wasn't twisted. It was laying in the cells in a C shape. And adults also looked healthy to me. I would say this colony has enough pollen since we saw royal jelly in the young larvae. They were swimming in this royal jelly, and though I didn't see much pollen on this second frame, this royal jelly in young larvae cells kind of gave me an indication that they do have enough pollen. So the population is growing because we saw all this capped brood. They are emerging right now, and I expect this colony to grow further. This is just the beginning of June. And hopefully, if we have the nectar flow, they will hopefully fill the super for us. But this super is full of honey. They have enough honey for themselves to survive July, for example. And this is the dearth period. I don't think there are any immediate management goals for this hive. They're still growing. They didn't show any signs of swarming. And I guess I'll just hold this box with the queen excluder together since it kind of stuck to it. So my only goal for the future inspection would be to check the mite levels, since I didn't do it in June yet, and again to check the adults, the population size, to check their nutrition levels, and to check the health of the colony. I usually inspect hives in spring and summer every 7 to 14 days, depending if they show any signs of swarming. With this hive, I will come back probably in 2 weeks because I didn't show any signs of swarming, and I don't want to disturb them too much. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the colony. They managed to replace the queen, and she looks healthy, and the brood that she created also looks pretty healthy. I noticed that the bees didn't cover some of the brood frames completely. There could be several reasons for that. It's hot right now. We are stepping into this hot season when the temperatures are in the upper 80s, lower 90s. So the bees do not want to create warm temperatures inside the hive. They need to maintain them below 97 degrees to make sure that the brood is healthy. And they usually in this hot weather, they disperse away from the brood. They move away from it in order not to overheat it. So that could be an explanation. But yeah, that's it for today. We closed the hive, and thank you very much for being with me. I hope you learned something new.